aliens return and send down that day's lotto numbers.
Wonderful, beautiful news from our leaders, our Lemurian leaders, our great leaders. They have come up with the crystal.
Thus followed the brutal crackdown by the fashion police. No more shimmery robes. No more stupid headgear. So what would you get if you took a UFO cult, added a zeal for producing content for local cable access television, plus a penchant for fashions so fabulous they'd make RuPaul swoon? You'd have Unarius, a loopy group of LARP nerds who have produced more bad science fiction than L. Ron Hubbard and J.J. Abrams combined. So Unarius supposedly stands for Universal Articulate Interdimensional Understanding of Science. Right. And my name stands for Super Awesome Tuber, and not at all a bad guy. Unarius was founded in 1954 by Ernest and Ruth Norman, based on some books that Ernest channeled from outer space. Because of course he did. If you write some gibberish and want people to think it's legit, you say you channeled it. But according to Ernest, Unarius wasn't a religion. That'd be stupid. Unarius taught the interdimensional science of life. Yeah, it contains science in the way like a Star Trek episode contains science. Now, the best I can gather from it is just blah 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 energy, blah 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 crystals, blah 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 Scientology, blah 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 harmonic resonance. But when Ernest kicked the bucket, Ruth took over. And what do you know, Ruth found out she was actually the Archangel Uriel, the most all-knowing and important cosmic being in the entire universe. Because of course she was. You know, if you're gonna be the chosen one, you go big or go home. Which allowed Ruth to live out her days parading in fantastic gowns and riding in a Cadillac with a UFO on top. Because of course she did. You know, if you're an angel from outer space, you want people to know it. But then came the wave of the future. Cable television! And Ruth found out there were local channels that would air literally any crap you gave them. And boy, did she give them some crap. Multiple feature-length Flash Gordon-style space operas featuring the creme de la creme of 80s video effects, one of which we shall watch today, Lemuria Rising, which shall change everything you know about human history. But first, a word from our sponsor, me! Be so nice as to give this video a like. I appreciate every little click you guys give me.
And now, our feature presentation.
The following program is a psychodrama depicting the past
A
life
psychodrama,
histories of the
as in a
individuals
drama
portrayed in the
made
film,
by
students of
psychos.
Unarius and their teacher Uriel. The recreation of those events in this dramatic form is an important element in the progressive evolution of each student.
In other words, Uriel requires all her followers to appear in her little movies.
The dialogue for each character comes from the psychic memory of that individual. No script was used.
Yeah, always a sign of a good movie when there's no script. Lemuria Rising. And there it goes. Ruth Norman, the Tommy Wiseau of the cult world. Their names are not allowed. The Herodotus? Wow!
Planet Earth. One of countless
kinda.
numbers of planets in the terrestrial worlds, its people move through their histories, most of them knowing nothing of the ever-constant guidance.
LARPing in the park
strewn
without a
from the
care in the
minds of
world.
beings
Hey,
of
it's
other
Space
worlds,
Grandma!
worlds far higher in frequency. Beings of light reside upon
Give
these
Space
worlds,
Grandma
ever
a
seeking
kiss.
ways to help the spiritual children of Earth move forward in their endless evolution. This is a story of that help, that guidance,
Candles
that endless love
in
pouring from the souls of infinity's brotherhood.
Hey, I don't know about you, but they're not exactly winning me over with these lousy production values here.
Greetings, friends. My name is Herodotus. I was known on
Wow,
as
the
a historian
Herodotus!
in the ancient culture you know as Greece. Since leaving the Earth plane, my work has continued, chronicling.
But I still haven't learned how to wear pants.
But tonight we're
Good
going
old
to
purple
present
beard
you
Herodotus.
the history of a civilization that held a very important role in the spiritual development of your world.
Whoa!
Yet most people today
You
know
alright?
little about this land, a great continent that rose above the Pacific Ocean, Lemuria.
The devil's in the details! So what is Lemuria? Well, the origins are dumber than you'd think. See, in 1864, there was a zoologist named Philip Sclater who wondered why there were lemurs in Madagascar and lemur fossils in India, but no trace of the little buggers in between. Well, because A, the theories of tectonic plates and continental drift hadn't been proposed yet, and B, because Sclater was an idiot, he proposed that there must have been a lost continent that once connected Madagascar to India, which he called Lemuria, literally land of the lemurs. 6 years later, German biologist Ernst Haeckel, who has a mixed legacy to say the least, suggested that this Lemuria might be the mythical origin point of the entire human species, mostly because he was too racist to accept the idea that humanity might have originated in Africa. And from then on, the door was open for every crackpot pseudo-archeological fantasy that hadn't already been crammed into Atlantis. So Herodotus recaps the first two movies, which I would have started with, except that they're boring, to tell us that Lemuria was originally seeded by hyper-intelligent beings from the planet of Lemuria, aka Planet of the Lemurs. Because after some Star Wars stuff featuring Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit, the Lemurians dumped all their jerks onto planet Earth. Because now we're ripping off Douglas Adams, where they forgot everything and spent all their time having wild hoedowns and making bird noises. But the Lemurians return and send down that day's lotto numbers. And what should be in these magical white orbs? Why, snazzy new threads, of course. Because as you shall see, this is the most fashion-forward of mythologies. Several months later, the cave people have managed to build a community college of some sort, where they are addressed for the first time by their magical space grandma, Uriel. And we see how Ruth Norton truly does have that cult leader charisma necessary to hold hundreds of people under her sway.
I have descended from what you would call the heavens. It is a very advanced world. It's called the spiritual world of Lemuria.
So like a substitute teacher lacking all confidence, it takes Uriel a full minute just to get these people to shut up and pay attention.
Could we ask you to be quiet for just a little while?
And you know how they said there was no script? Yeah, well, it starts to become pretty obvious.
No killing. You must start to love each other and be patient and compassion with each other.
It's not good to war on other tribes?
Yeah, he's the slow one in the group. Everyone else here speaks perfect English, but he's like...
It's not good to war on other tribes?
Fast forward 6,000 years, and the Lemurians have built a civilization centered mostly on listening to slow, boring lectures.
Of our acts have caused us to lose consciousness of the great central transmitter, the infinite, the creative intelligence from which we derive our own life force. It is exactly that principle that has deactivated.
I'm awake, I'm listening.
It was the age of logic and reason.
And folding chairs. It was an age of enlightenment. Of cellophane crinkled in front of the lens, of cheap crystal lampshades, and a whole lot of nothing happening for several minutes. So then, a mere 40,000 years later, Uriel sits by an unclean swimming pool to struggle and stammer her way through, what is this, a press conference?
This Lemurian cycle here on this Earth world is not really the very first cycle and the first civilization that has come about. We had before this cycle and civilization, a very beautiful civilization, and the country was exploded.
The curriculums that we are providing for the people is such that it embodies the full stature and knowledge of each one of us as being spirit. The spirit that is the all-abiding purpose in our lives.
You got a point, buddy?
Full well that you have given us the opportunity to change today,
Junior! This is just such a whole lot of nothing. I mean, they're just stringing together buzzwords without actually saying anything.
And using the fourth dimensional principles.
Energy principles.
Part of the grand stream of spirit.
It's like that scene from that one Neil Breen film.
Programmable virtual reality.
We are on the verge of mind hacking.
So after another 20,000 years of that, Space Grandma decides it's finally time to stop babysitting these dorks and retire to Florida or something.
Now we will enter the disintegrating flame that disintegrates my physical body.
But after a mere 5,000 years, things start turning to shit. Hey, maybe the reason why this civilization advances so slow is because no one can get to the point.
In the area of art, from my territory, the paintings are all beginning to come out the same way. I tell them that there will be changes yet.
Now, I'm gonna play this scene almost in full, so you can see why you don't ad-lib a movie.
I'm coming to you with a problem I have. The problem is that when the sector leaders confront me with the problems they're having, because of the problems their people are having, I don't know what to answer. I give the answers that I feel are right, which come from all of our research and development, but I feel inadequate at times to represent in the ways that...
Well, you are inadequate. That's why we hooked you up to the computer.
So they come up with a solution. Techno-fascism!
Technology is going to soon help to eradicate all of the problems that we have had.
Yeah, and maybe some improv classes wouldn't hurt too. So they start indoctrinating the children with crappy, poorly written television programs, which luckily the kids just aren't feeling. I mean, look at this guy right here. But boy, do things go downhill quick. In a mere 15,000 years, they become a real Sodom and Gomorrah, with pineapple dinners and making it rain.
An ominous legion of murderous characters began to dominate law enforcement.
No! Not the murderous characters! Thus followed the brutal crackdown by the fashion police. No more shimmery robes. No more stupid headgear. Sorry, ladies, but the Cleopatra look was so last millennia. And then they would march through the streets, singing their chilling anthem.
Pants! Pants! Sing the praises of pants! Nothing better shows my taste than what I wear below my waist.
So after 10,000 years of that, Uriel finally shows up to say something.
If things don't change very rapidly and continuously, that in several 100,000 years from now, your entire world will become destroyed.
Several 100,000 years. Yeah, way to create a sense of urgency, Uriel. But the people wouldn't listen and instead come up with their own solution. Putting a really drunk woman on television.
Wonderful, beautiful news from our leaders, our Lemurian leaders, our great leaders. They have come up with the crystal lenses. And I am so happy. I'm just so elated with the beauty and the glory of Lemuria. In the future, we're going to be just ecstatic with all the beauty and love, wisdom and glory, and a body, if you would like a beautiful body.
Quiet, you drunk.
2,000 years later.
So the government starts like lobotomizing people or something, starting with the most spineless and eggplant looking of the population. And they implant some kind of like mind control jewel in their foreheads, which is just ridiculous. You know, some quasi-fascist regime can't impose mindless loyalty just by having people wear their emblem on their foreheads. Oh. Oh my.
The crystal implants were just the beginning of the destructive electronic experimentation, dream control, constant surveillance, and manipulation of the human body to form animal-like humanoids.
I just saw a pig man. A pig man! They're probably creating a whole army of pig warriors!
Then finally, the quote, negative thoughts become so overwhelming, and the fashions so unfabulous, that Lemuria just ends. Somehow. It doesn't explain what happened.
Wait, I'm confused about the movie. So the cops knew that Internal Affairs was setting them up?
What are you talking about? There's nothing like that in there.
Well, you see, when I get bored, I make up my own movie.
So back we go to Kenny Rogers. Herodotus.
The Brothers of Light are continually working with the people of Earth, and will continue to work. And as you've seen, the people who have
my nipples are freezing!
Past life history in this program are beginning to be freed of these horrible pasts. We hope that this has given you some insight into your own past in Lemuria, and that great understanding that is Lemuria is rising within your own consciousness. Thank you.
Greek historian Herodotus, everyone! Let's give him a hand! Bye-bye, Herodotus. Bye-bye. So you might be wondering just who made this crap. Well, according to the credits, it was directed and edited by Dionysius, but through the channelship of Ruth Norman. So the guy can't even get full credit. So Ruth died in 1993, so you might think that would be the end of that. But no, these guys are still going, and still LARPing up a storm. In fact, you can attend their yearly Conclave of Light in El Cajon, California, to witness the magnificent releasing of the doves, as they await the arrival of the 33 representatives of the Confederacy of Planets in the year 2001. TBD. So tell me what you think about these guys, and if you want to see more content from the Unarians in the future, because there's more movies where this came from. And just as an added bonus, when I was recording this, my For You page gifted me with over an hour of interview footage with Unarius members done by legendary punk rock frontman Jello Biafra of the Dead Kennedys. And Jello's a smart guy, you know, it's worth checking out. I'll put the link in the description down below. So please remember to give this video a like, and please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. So until next time, I'm Satan the 17th. I'll see you in hell.
It's not good to war another tribe?